Have you ever thought about how exhausting and overwhelming it is to be healthy and to live a healthy lifestyle? Today in this video, I'm going to shed some light on the subject, and I'm going to share my personal experiences and personal thoughts as a 53-year-old woman who has been dealing with PCOS my entire adult life, and who has also struggled with maintaining a healthy lifestyle and maintaining a healthy weight. A little bit about my story. I am 53 years old, and when I was 19, I was diagnosed with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. I probably had it prior to being 19, but I just didn't get diagnosed until that age. So for my entire adult life, I have dealt with this condition, which is basically, I guess one would say, it's kind of like diabetes of the ovaries. And it causes insulin resistance. You have excess hair, your hormones are out of whack. It typically causes weight gain and also infertility. So my entire life that I remember, I have struggled with my weight. I have struggled with hormone issues, and it hasn't been a fun ride, we'll just say that. So I got thinking about this on the weekend, actually, about how exhausting it is, how mentally exhausting it is, always worrying about your weight, worrying about what you're eating, worrying about being healthy, worrying about doing the right thing for your body, for your mental health, for everything. And as I said, I will be 54 actually in December. This has been my entire adult life. It's exhausting, it really is. I guess part of the reason for this video is just to make people aware. You never know what people are going through. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You don't know what's going on in people's minds. And just because you see someone who's overweight, it does not mean that they're a lazy slob and they're not taking care of themselves. I have been fighting and battling with my body for 35 years. And it hasn't been easy, and it's not fun. And I would say probably it wasn't until maybe about the last 7 years that I really started to take a concentrated effort to turn things around and really focus on my health. And again, it is not easy. It has been a very rocky road. And the biggest problem is trying to be consistent. And when you're doing everything that you should be doing and you don't see the results that anyone else humanly possible on earth would see results for. So that is the biggest challenge, and has always been my biggest struggle, is that just trying to stick with something, and when you're not seeing results, you quit and you give up. And even aside from people that do have medical conditions that are preventing them or battling against them to maintain a healthy weight or healthy lifestyle, I think in general, everyone's exhausted from so many things. And it's just trying to do everything that's right for your body. And like I said, about 7 years ago, I decided, okay, I need to start taking more of an active interest. But really, I would say the last 4 years is when I really hunkered down and said, okay, enough is enough. I really have to focus on this. And for me, it's everything, which is why it's so exhausting. It's drink your water, have your protein, have your fiber, take your vitamins, make sure you get your steps, make sure you get your sleeps, don't eat processed food. The list is a mile long. And when someone has been fighting with this their entire life, it's very difficult for people to understand. Why can't you just lose weight? You go to the doctor and it's constantly change your diet, get your steps in. It's just years and years of being beaten down and mentally exhausted from all of this. But anyways, I'm turning a leaf, and I am also now battling with perimenopause. So the PCOS is typically, like most people, it's insulin resistance. And insulin is a hormone. So not only do I have the PCOS with the hormone, the insulin hormone, then I've got, menopause, which is another hormonal issue. So battling health issues, but also hormone, and just trying to be healthy. But I've recently seen a naturopath, and I've also spoken to my doctor. So I'm looking at a few options, maybe hormone replacement therapy, but also just for me personally, it's just really hunkering down on being consistent with all the things that I need to do. And I have seen results, but for me personally, I'm never going to be a small person. And I'm okay with that. Maybe maybe that could be possible for me if I was 100% following exactly what I need to do. But as I said, it is so exhausting worrying and thinking about this stuff all the time. And I just am not prepared to do that. I do not want to devote every waking second of my day worrying and thinking about being healthy and losing more weight. So I have been successful in losing weight over the last 2.5 years. I have lost almost 30 pounds, but it's not easy. And trying to maintain that is also not easy. And that, again, is why I say it's exhausting. Just, I would just like to have some freedom from thinking about this all the time, from doing all of these things. But this is, these are the cards I've been dealt. This is what I have to deal with, and I just make the best of it. But I have come to terms with the fact that I am never going to be stick thin person. This is where I am. I'm mid-size, and at my age, midlife, I've accepted that, and I'm okay with it. So some of the things that I have incorporated, which I will share with you, with my weight loss and just trying to be healthy. And I think also what happened was I have a desk job, sitting in a desk all these years, and I just was finding that more and more my body was aching. My hips were aching, my legs were aching, and then I just decided one day, okay, that's enough. I need to make a point of taking care of myself and focusing on things, and just focusing on a little bit at a time. So instead of worrying about exercise, thinking, okay, I'm going to, go and work out for an hour and go crazy with cardio, I just incorporated 10 minutes. Just go on the treadmill, go for a walk 10 minutes, and then gradually 15 minutes, because it's when you look at the number of the time, it seems very overwhelming that, okay, I don't have an hour, I don't have time, or you just think of that large number. So it's just incorporating 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just a little bit at a time. And for me, when I went to see the naturopath about making changes, it was almost catastrophic, because it was like, okay, get 10,000 steps in a day, make sure you're getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep, don't have coffee after 11, cut out sugar, cut out most of your carbs, what else, and then a whole regimen of supplements, then also focus on, it was just so much, and I was so overwhelmed that it didn't work the first time that I saw her. It took about a year or more for me to go back, because I was just so overwhelmed with everything. So when I reconnected with her, she reinforced that just, focus on small things. Just focus on, for now, it's either focus on the eating or focus on the exercise. Don't try to, put everything together in one box and try to work on everything that's in that box. Just take one thing out at a time. So for me, I first focused on the diet, and then just making sure that I incorporated, my protein, my fiber, water. She said, just stick with those 3 things, focus on those 3 things. And then, start adding in the exercise. And then obviously it's the weights as well. So when I say it's exhausting, this is what I mean. For some people, it's not that easy, and not to take away from the people that actually, are really invested in their health and go to the gym and work out and do all the things they need to do. Good for those people, and I commend those people. But it is, it's mentally exhausting for some people. So I just wanted to come here to shed some light on that, and to see what other people are experiencing, and if you have anything to share as well, and if there are any other PCOS girlies out there, come on into the comments, let's chat, let's support each other. And also any perimenopause ladies out there, it's tough. It is very tough to be a lady, and especially when you have these outside forces that are working against you. And I mean, as I said, PCOS, and then now perimenopause, and probably menopause is right around the corner. So I hope that you enjoyed the video. It wasn't as uplifting as some of my other videos, but I feel like these conversations are really important as well, because women go through a lot. And also, I just feel like the world has become a very judgmental place. And people are walking around carrying so much weight on their back, and you have no idea what people are going through. You don't know what's going on in their minds, in their homes, with their families, with their jobs, what have you. And I feel like everyone just needs a little bit of grace. So that's my closure for today, that just give people grace, don't be so judgmental, and try and put yourself in other people's shoes. So until the next time, bye for now. And the next video I hope to actually share will be chatting about how expensive it is to be healthy. So I hope to see you around at that video as well.